Hello and welcome to today's conversation with one of our incredible speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. Welcome. If you're joining us live, let us know where in the world you are, where you're watching us from. And if you're watching this on replay, put hashtag replay and where you're watching us from. Today's my guest is a lovely Leslie Stevens. Hi, Leslie. How are you? Where are you joining from?
Hey Ray, thank you so much for having me. I am right in the middle of the United States in good old Oklahoma. So I love getting to talk to everybody like around the whole entire world. So please let us know where you are listening from.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. I think we're matching in our backgrounds today.
I think so. We're very on brand.
Very on brand, Leslie. Oh, today you're in for a treat, especially if you are interested in marketing, but not just social media marketing. Today we're talking about not an influencer, more sales without social media. And if you have been struggling attracting your audience, your clients, you're wondering what's the secret to finding your ideal audience and your clients, then today's conversation is going to be for you. And my guest today is Leslie Stevens, who's branding and marketing strategist. She specializes in teaching, coaching, and sales-based entrepreneurs how to book more clients without having the pressure to post on social media. Using her signature method of client connection method, she integrates design and sales psychology, which enables her clients to connect with strangers and convert them into paying clients quickly and easily. And Leslie, it's just such a pleasure to have you here. I think we're going to have a lot of fun talking about these marketing strategies for our audience today.
Absolutely. I always love sharing all of my secrets. I don't hold anything back because you get so much information on social media marketing all the time. So I'm here to kind of show all of the other tools in the marketing toolbox that are open opportunities to everybody out there.
Ooh. So get your pen and paper ready. Before we begin, I have two asks for you. One of the asks is to put secrets in the comments right now. I need you to put secrets in the comments below because if you want to have some secrets, let's get some engagement going. Let's make sure that this live is seen by more people. And second ask is to share this live with your audience right now. We're streaming across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. So I want you to share this so we can reach more people all around the world. So once you've done that, click share and then comment below secrets. And we're going to be letting you into a lot of secrets for marketing purposes today. Leslie, how did you get started in this, and why no social media? Why marketing without social media when everybody's flocking to social media to find their clients?
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to share my story because I got here the hard way. But when I started my very first online business, I went in with the idea of, okay, all I need to do is post on social media and I'll get clients because that's what everyone told me. My mentors, business coaches, friends, and family, they just kept telling me, oh, post, you'll get clients. I had all of the credentials I needed to be a health coach. I was a registered dietitian. I was a personal trainer. I was licensed, all of these things. And it just seemed like such a no brainer. So, even though I'm naturally introverted, I am not one to share all aspects of my life all the time. I was like, okay, if this means that I get to help people, I am willing to do the work and put myself out there, lead by example. And then I just got completely burnt out. Because yes, I could post and get some clients here and there, but it was never with the consistency where I really felt like I built a successful business or a predictable business. And I felt like my whole life had turned into content. And I would wake up each morning with this expectation of, oh my gosh, what do I need to post today? Or did I post that in the right way? Do I have the right strategy? Am I posting it at the right time? All of these things were running through my head. And it just got to be so much on top of running a business at the same time and working with my clients and making sure they're taken care of to kind of the standard and expectation that I had with all of those things. And I was talking to my husband about starting a family. And I was like, there's no way I can keep this up and also take care of a child the way that I want to, live the life that I want to. And I was like, something has to change. So I made a really bold move and I actually decided to leave my health coaching business altogether. And I naturally transitioned into branding because art and design had been my lifelong love ever since I was a little kid. I remember my first year in school, I got in trouble for staying at the art table too long. And I got connected with this brilliant mentor who did the branding for Versace, Stuart Weitzman, the Met, all of these incredible businesses. And I truly feel like when you put the right things out there in the world, the right opportunities, and people come to you to build up that dream. And so these things all fell into place for me. And my business really took off once I made that decision to transition. And I was fully booked for those first 3 months, booked solid, could not take on any more clients. And I had that little feeling of, "Oh my gosh, you better post on Instagram or else you won't keep this going." And I had to snap myself back into reality and be like, "You haven't had an online presence at all, and you have never been more successful as you are now. What are you measuring your success on? And what do you really want your version of success to be?" So I decided to lean into the things that I was already doing, and it was simple conversations and opening myself up to having more conversation and making true connections with people because that felt so natural and so easy to me. It didn't feel like work at all. So I thought, oh, there's no way that could be a marketing strategy because it's too easy when I fought this uphill battle with social media for so long. And I noticed a lot of other entrepreneurs were struggling with the same things. And I had really close friends who had brilliant business ideas that weren't doing it because they simply just didn't want to post all the time. They didn't want their life to turn into content. They didn't want all of these things. And obviously, there are many ways to do it. So it doesn't have to go that way. But I knew that I had to show people that there are so many different ways to create success for yourself, and you don't have to just do it the way that we scroll by every single day, that there are so many opportunities that can align to you and your personality, and it can make your business easy and fun. So I knew I was going to be the one to shout it from the rooftops and be the one who showed up. And even when the voices are very loud about, "Oh, you have to post, you need to show up on social media all the time, every day, post this frequently," I knew somebody out there needed a voice to show them there can be another way, just so that they could build the life and the business and the success that they deserve to have and not have this one element hold them back.
Mm. I have a question for you.
Yes.
How does it feel to go against the grain when everybody says that people should be visible on social media?
I have to tell you from the honest bottom of my heart, it is very difficult and it took time. So there are definitely still moments when I listen to these amazing people and who are extremely successful and they share their marketing strategy and a lot of it has to do with social media. It's hard for me not to have that instinct of being like, "Oh my gosh, I need to be doing that too." But over the years, I have built up so much proof that I have created success in a different way. I have to remind myself, "Hey, you don't have to do it their way. You don't have to just follow everybody else's expectations or what you think is going to work because it worked for them. You need to trust yourself and your intuition and go with where the proof lies." And that took a lot of trial and error over the years. Like I said, I invested years trying to make social media work. And once I let go of that pressure and I really leaned into the things that I was genuinely naturally inclined to do, the doors just open for me, and then you do have to go back and remind yourself, like, "Hey, you can be different. It's okay to be different. You should be different." Because not everybody wants to see the same thing either. Not everybody learns the same way. The right people are gonna be attracted to me, and the right people are going to be attracted to you. So it is reminding yourself to stand in your power, in your uniqueness,
Mm,
that I think is a muscle that you can build over time.
yeah, yeah. I love that. What would you say your core marketing channels now that works for you?
Definitely collaborations in terms of, like, getting into small groups. So, people who have built communities and going in and really providing them, like, with strong, strong value, and not just going in and saying, "Hey, I'm Leslie. You should know who I am, and I'm gonna help you." Like, no, I go in there with a genuine intention to provide them with something that they can get out of, and then positioning myself as an authority and getting into like educational platforms. And now, of course, speaking is one of the things that I've found I enjoy a lot and never would have expected to enjoy at all. But it's one of those things where you try something and you find out if you like it or not. And it can open so many doors by just trying and being present in the room.
Mhm. I love that. That's so much juiciness there. Like I know, we've had many conversations behind the scenes, and you would really advocate for different topics that you don't have to be on social media, and you don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. And I love that you just said, you know, find what really works for you, because in this online world, and that's why I asked you, like, how does it feel to go against the grain? Because it feels like everybody just flocking to one strategy, right? TikTok exploded, and everybody you can think of now on TikTok, or everybody's doing the reels. And like personally, when the reels started, I was like, I don't want to be doing this. Like, I don't want to do this, and I refused. And it's because, look, I want to run my business on my own terms, and if that means saying no to doing dancing videos every day, and I just looked at it, I was like, "There's just no way. Like, give me a break."
I tried
Right?
it, I was not good at dancing, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and you're also a mama, so how do you juggle, like, having to be present for your clients, motherhoods, or running your own business? I'm sure you have other commitments as well. How do you juggle everything?
It's been trial and error in that area too, but it's definitely setting, like, intentional time blocks where I make sure that I'm done with work at a certain time of the day so I can be present for my little one. Or if I know I have bigger projects or I'm onboarding a client, I wake up a little bit early and I try not to take on too much work all at once. So that's one of those things where I've had to figure out that nice balance and in between. And being a mom, things can come up and the little one gets sick and can't, and the babysitter can't watch them and like all of those things. So really it's just trying to do my best with every single day. And I map out the 2 or 3 things that I really need to get done. And if the rest doesn't get done, that's okay because I have different priorities at this phase of life, and I think that's another reason why it's so important to know all of these different marketing strategies that you can use because you're going to go through different phases in your business and you're going to go through different phases of your life where making a ton of content maybe isn't feasible for you and you might need to find another way of marketing yourself. Like I do lean into networking a bit more now because I can hop on calls Tuesdays and Thursdays when he's in daycare and make a lot of genuine deep connections via those channels instead of making a mini course or something to be a part of another educational platform. So it's just having all those tools in your tool belt and knowing when to use them when you've got to balance a lot of things and you want to be a lot of different things because we're not just business owners, we're not just moms. We wear a lot of hats and we have a lot of things that we want to do. So you've got to figure out ways to navigate it and make it work for you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think, there, like I said, there's just so much expectation for women to do this, do that, and for entrepreneurs. And I just feel like sometimes we're just so stretched. Just like everybody wants our attention, right? There's your baby, there's your husband, there's your friends, there's your online community, there's your podcast, there's your social media follow, like that whole lot. And you're like, but you only have so many hours in the day, and you really have to prioritize. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's valuable to know, like, okay, I'm also a human. I'm also just trial and error. You can't be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, there's one thing I that just brought up for me is, like, thinking about business the same way you think about kind of being a mom, because when you become a mom, you kind of look to other moms who have done it before for kind of their guidance and what to do. You've never done it before, so you're looking for somebody else to tell you what to do, and then you can find things that absolutely just contradict each other. Like some people can tell you you absolutely have to breastfeed and you can't do formula or formula is great. Breastfeeding like it's optional. Like all of these different things like you should let your baby cry. You should never let your baby cry. And it can be the same exact thing with your business. Like when you get started, it's just deciding what's right for you and really following your intuition because, moms will understand this. Like, you'll know when your baby needs you. Like, I was talking to my friend and I told her, I said, "Some people are gonna tell you you should never let your baby cry," or they're gonna say, "Let them cry it out." But if in your gut you feel like your baby's fine, they're just having a minute, like, and you don't need to get them. Listen to your instincts, and also, if somebody told you to let them cry, but you know in your heart they need that connection with you have to listen to yourself and what your gut is telling you to do, and with being a woman, we have these instincts that are set up to really help us navigate the world, and we can use those same instincts in figuring out how to run our business, which is essentially another baby that we have created. So that's just a thought that came into my head talking about motherhood.
Yeah, I certainly can relate that. I'm so intuitive, and sometimes I just don't know how I know, but she needs to get up this moment in time, and then she has a burp or something. Okay, like I don't know how I knew. I just knew that that's what she needed, right?
Uh-huh. You know these things.
You just know. And same in business. Sometimes you make a decision and you make a move, and boom, it suddenly works. And again, I'm not a fan of like following everybody. I'm not a fan of copying anyone. Or it's like, oh, okay, it worked for you, but okay, so I'm gonna copy exactly what you did. And I think this is what we're talking about today. Just this whole social media and marketing landscape. And I always say this to people: show up where you like to show up. Show up where you enjoy to be visible, where you like to make connections. I mean, if podcast is not your thing, don't do it. If video is not your thing, don't do it because you're gonna look uncomfortable. And like that's no fun watching you being like a deer with the headlights, right? It's just not fun.
Mhm. You have to learn where you can have fun, and yes, things are gonna be hard the first few times, like, oh my goodness, Ray, if you saw me on video the first few times, oh, but I decided I was gonna have fun with it. I just made the decision like, "Hey, if I wanna make an impact, if I wanna get myself out there, I could either write a ton or I could get on video and talk to people." And that just naturally, I was like, "Okay, we're going this way. We're going all in. I'll be a little uncomfortable, but I'll get better, I promise."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Sometimes you gotta challenge yourself and like speaking. Oh goodness me, you know how many times like I struggled with speaking. And video as well. I had to overcome myself to do this because I knew there was a reason why I wanted to do it. And for me, it was just like, again, reaching people, communicating. I wanted to record courses. I had a lot of knowledge, and I was like, I'm not gonna get in my own way. I'm just not, and I'm gonna figure it out, even if I have to take, voice coaches or whatever I have had to do. One time I set up the whole studio at home, and I could barely film like 30-second videos. And not even that. I couldn't even do that. Like, uh-oh, like, how are we gonna do this?
But that's the reality of it, and I think so many people are held back because they're like, "Oh, I can't film this 30-second video," and I'm like, "Do you know how many times I filmed my first 30-second video? It was probably hours that it took me to get a good 30-second clip," and that's what I wish more people would talk about and more people would share because anything is possible. Anything is possible if you want it and you want to practice it and you're willing to put in the time and the effort, like you can definitely make it happen.
I see you inspiring me. Today, right, I was like, I am going to film. I've got some content to film, like to do some, just some like stories. I'm just not a fan to speaking to my audience in stories because you just, I don't know, it just so feels so unnatural to me. But
Mhm.
today I'm so committed, and I think this conversation comes in just at a perfect time. Like, okay, I'm gonna go out, get off this call now, and I'm gonna go and film those stories. So watch out, world.
It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait to see them.
So for our audience, what are you feeling inspired today after today's conversation? Maybe you're delving into video marketing, maybe you want to start a podcast, maybe you want to write more, maybe you want to get yourself onto some educational platforms, as Leslie mentioned today, or maybe you want to master another social media platform and this conversation has not really swayed your opinion. I want to know in the chat, what are you committed to doing in your own business? What marketing strategies do you pursue? Because I think in these conversations, it's important to see different perspectives, different strategies that works for other people. Don't just think that there's just one way of doing it. And I'm so glad that Leslie is speaker on our stage at the Women Thrive Summit because this is the topic that she is going to be talking a lot more on how to navigate your business and your marketing without social media. So her talk is not an influencer, more sales without social media. This is where she is going to be exposing her strategies. I'll let you finish that sentence, Leslie. I'll let you pitch it because I think you know
Absolutely.
what's going into your talk much better than I do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you all of the insights on the client connection method, and it's a really simple 3-step strategy. So I'm gonna teach you how to make strategic connections, have conversations that actually convert into paying clients so that it makes your sales simple and easy. And I'm gonna teach you all of I call them my silent but deadly successful marketing strategies because they're the ones people don't talk about very much. So there are a lot of the strategies very successful people use, but they're not shouting them from the rooftop. So I'm going to share those with you. And after my session, just for the Women Thrive event, I'm going to have a really special quiz made up for the people who are there so that they can relate their personality with the best marketing method for them to go out and try and implement into their overall business strategy.
You gotta be there. You gotta be there with a pen and
Mhm.
paper. You're gonna need a whole book for that one, I tell
Yeah.
you. So we are gathering for our virtual Women Thrive Summit, 18th to the 22nd of March. You gotta be there. Sign up, save your spot at womenthrivesummit.com. Make sure you are there for Leslie's talk on Not an Influencer, More Sales Without Social Media. Look out on the agenda for her talk. Be there with the pen and paper. I promise you, you gotta be there. And also bring a friend because I think this whole summit we're covering so many incredible topics from social media, marketing, visibility, authority, building leadership, confidence, love and relationships. I mean, we're going in. We're going really
Oh,
deep
yeah.
on this one. What are you excited about, Leslie, yourself?
Oh, I have to say, I love all of the speakers and hearing everybody's different perspective because I feel like it gives you so much insight on the possibilities that are out there, not only for business, but your life and also how you're functioning within all of those things. Just the guidance and the power of these women who are speaking. It is really inspirational, and you will take so much away from each session that you get to listen to. So I am really, really excited to hear everything that's going on.
I love that. And we're serving so many different time zones. So we begin early in the morning in the UK, or 9 o'clock at UK time, which might be super early for those in the States. And then we go all the way till the evening. And it's a live event. So none of the content is pre-recorded. You get to really engage with the speakers, which is not very common for virtual summits. I think a lot of people love their pre-recorded content, but I love real authentic connections. And for those who get to attend our summit, that's what you're going to experience. We're going to be dancing, having fun, networking, connecting, learning, taking notes. Every year we genuinely have so many transformations during these events, and I can't wait to see what we got coming up for this year's summit.
Yeah, sometimes it only takes one thing from one person to completely change the trajectory of what you're doing right now. If you're feeling stuck or even if you're thriving, that one kind of sound bite and getting to interact with those people can skyrocket you to exactly where you wanna be or even further.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's a lot of value in those connections. And sometimes there's just one missing piece to the puzzle. And you might be
Mhm.
just looking for that one missing piece. And you might not even know. Some people don't even know what they come to the summit for, what they're looking for. And then they come out, it's like, wow, I didn't expect that. And that's a beautiful thing. Some people come for one talk and they end up staying for the whole week because they loved it so much. So I just want to say, save your spot, clear your diary for that week, and let's have some fun.
Yes.
Leslie, before everyone leaves for today's live, how can people connect with you?
Yes, so you can connect with me on social media platforms. You will not see me posting all the time because I practice what I preach, but I am always there for a good conversation. And I do have a gift for you. If you DM me, connect, I will send you the list of 60 plus ways to market your business without depending on social media. So, this is a whole comprehensive list of ideas that you can start taking action on today to help you get more clients.
Love it. Leslie, can I have a copy of that?
Absolutely.
So head over to I am Leslie Stevens on Instagram. Make sure you DM her word connect, and she will let you know about her secrets on marketing strategies without social media. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think this is game changer. Thanks, Leslie, for your time and your wisdom today. And thank you all for listening for today's conversation. And I hope we see you again on another live. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you.